Hi folks, welcome back to the channel. Hope everybody's happy and healthy and doing well. So those of you who follow social media with regards to healthcare and stuff like this, especially here in the US, might have seen that there's been some discussions about a new program that United Healthcare has released, at least a press release and an infographic about called United Healthcare Rewards. And the excitement in the community is that United is now going to be paying people for sharing their data with United. And so, keeping with the fact that if something sounds too good to be true, it's worth taking a look at it. I've decided to take a look at the program and share some of my hopefully insights and perspectives with you on this program, and also my questions, because there's a lot of questions still about this program. So essentially, United is offering people who participate in certain programs, and they're going to extend it to others, I'm sure, up to $1,000 pre-tax, and we're going to talk about that in a second, for sharing their data with United. And it's going to be activity data and other pieces of data. And so we're going to talk about what you get, we're going to talk about what you have to do, and we're going to talk about the unanswered questions that you would presumably like to get answers to before you actually enroll in this program. So for starters, you can potentially get up to $1,000 a year. Now, keep in mind, this is pre-tax. So if your marginal tax rate is about 20% or thereabout, remember, you marginal, not your average tax rate, then say you might get $800, $750, $800 a year after tax, once you've declared this on top of your other income. If you divide that by about 360 days a year, because it looks like you have to submit daily data, then that sort of ends up about $2.22 a day. So it's going to get you basically a cup of coffee, not a cappuccino, but a regular cup of coffee maybe. So important to keep that in mind. Now, secondly, what do you have to do? And this is where it really gets interesting, and this is really where it sort of becomes a question of what is really the purpose of this program? And clearly, United, being an insurer, is looking to reduce costs initially in the programs where United is at risk, but potentially extending them to other programs where employers are at risk, so that the cost to the employers for their employees could potentially go down as well. And so they start with 5,000 steps a day that you have to track and report. And that's great, but that excludes a lot of activities. 5,000 steps is really walking and running. That doesn't include swimming. That doesn't include biking potentially. Certainly doesn't include weightlifting or a number of other things that you could be doing. Then there is sort of 15 minutes of activities a day. Unclear if that is in addition to the 5,000 steps, in lieu, or if they can be the same. But that's sort of the activity part of it, and you will need to share data for that. Then it really becomes interesting and really raises a question in my mind what the purpose of this program is and what United is actually going to do with the data, because they want you to track 14 days, or actually 14 nights, I guess, worth of sleep. And what's that all about, and what are they going to do with that? And then they want you to take a biometric exam. Now, a biometric exam, if you look it up, is sort of a primary care exam. So you need to go either to a primary care physician or a nurse practitioner, and they're going to put you through sort of a regular primary care exam, and potentially, the physical testing and all the blood tests that come with it. And once again, what's that all about? And what is United going to do with that data? And then you do some kind of healthcare survey, apparently, in addition to that. And so, that's all interesting. But what is sort of therefore United going to do with all of this? And even before we get that, it's not clear from the information that they released what information you actually need to share with them on a daily basis with regards to your activities. Is it just some kind of instantiation of the activities, or is it going to include sort of the heart rate data that goes with it, the location data and whatnot? It's just very unclear. It's a question mark. But when you upload the data to them to be part of this program, what data will you actually need to upload for them to be satisfied that you met their requirements? And so moving on to the third piece, what are all the unanswered questions? And, the big unanswered question is sort of, what is United Healthcare going to do with all this data that you give them? All the activity data, the physical exam, the healthcare survey, the sleep data. Are they going to analyze it? Are they going to sell it? And quite frankly, are they going to harass you based on the data? So what are you really signing up for? Are you signing up for to just share data with United that they're going to do some analysis on and leave it at that? Or are you signing up to be harassed? And none of the information that they've released, and I'm going to include links to a couple of those pieces. One is an infographic and the other one is a press release. They're both from their website, and I include that in the description below. None of them talk about that. And so that is a bit of a mystery. But if you are offered to be part of this program because of the insurance product that you're part of, or that your employer might be part of, I think it's a question worth asking. What are you really signing up for? Are you just signing up for giving some data to United and being left alone? Or are you actually signing up for a lot of harassment about what you should and shouldn't be doing? You need to lose weight, you need to exercise more, you need to sleep better, you need to do this, you need to do that. If I were to decide, if I was eligible for this program, if I were to decide whether I want to be part of it or not, that would certainly be an important consideration, on which all the information that I've seen about this program is completely and totally silent, which leaves something to be desired as far as I am concerned. So, net, will be interesting to see what this is. Will be interesting to see how it plays out. If any of you have already been offered to be part of this, would love to hear from you what more you've learned about it, other than what's been released publicly in the releases. And I guess we'll find out over time how this goes. So with that, I'd love to hear from you. Let me know what you think, and be well. Take good care. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.